friend once told me that a portrait was the invitation to a conversation. And I have held that so close to me. Because often I think to myself, you know, I'm just taking pictures of people's faces or just them on a simple backdrop. But it is what has opened the conversation here.
I reached out to Hillary when Caleb was after his first calendar, which he was about 7 or 8 months old. And I was kind of like, oh, this is just like, could be more. We could do more with this.
I do remember you saying, you know, the calendar is a piece for fundraising, but we should make this into an advocacy piece.
So basically she was like, well, I feel like this shouldn't just be a calendar. Like, we should make this a thing. Why don't we try to do this? There's 31 people, 31 days in October.
It was 31 days, 31 faces.
Yeah.
That's what kicked it off.
Take a time, take a jump.
Yeah, look how high you jumped there.
Yeah, so high up. That one me, that me, that me. Each spot, fill all the spots. My favorites.
Those are all great pictures.
I think you got to pick somebody who you wanted to have your picture taken with.
Yeah.
And I was lucky because you picked me.
Yeah, well, actually in between Lori or Lynn, don't know who I picked.
Lynn was busy.
Yes.
Oh, that's Chloe.
That is Chloe. At that point, I just imagined that it was a calendar that we could buy for friends and family and that it would be a cool thing to be a part of, but didn't really recognize how much bigger of a project it was than that.
All right, for the last 7 years, the Waterloo Wellington Down Syndrome Society has collaborated with local photographer Hillary Gold Camilleri to bring national awareness and learning to communities for children and adults with Down syndrome.
The Business Insider in the US reached out and did quite a lengthy article. We started getting messages from organizations globally, California, Australia, Germany. The response we had from Believe With Me, which was very simplistic in some ways. We weren't asking huge questions to the individuals, like, what goals are you working on today? Believe with me that I'm learning to ride a bike. Believe with me that I'm learning to write my name or cook. And I reached out to People magazine. Immediately he said, please send it to us. And that was featured. I still remember that feeling, looking at my phone and seeing our local faces on the Instagram page of People magazine.
I've been practicing dancing, drella, doing dance.
Are you doing a choreography for the group again?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
This.
You got some new moves?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not new. I've seen that before.
Yeah, right. It's different way.
You gonna do this one?
No, that and do it again and.
Oh.
Now people were being given the opportunity to see more than just a disability. They were seeing people, and that was something that wasn't really happening.
When Noelle was born and we got her Down syndrome diagnosis, you know, I made the terrible mistake of doing a quick Google search. And when I Googled, what I saw was not encouraging. Photos that were quite stereotypical and
maybe even clinical.
Yeah, very clinical.
I remember when Ren was born, just getting the hard copies of books to read about Down syndrome, not knowing what to expect or what we were going to see, because you just didn't see people in the community the same way.
Kids with Down syndrome, back when I was in grade school, were not part of our school. They were not seen, they were not heard.
Now, realizing the the joy we have of Noel in our home, and to think back to those kids who were just kind of shuffled off, it's terribly sad. The one thing that I realized, and our family realized actually, is that with Noel in our home, she became kind of the sun where we all orbited around. And she created more love in our home than we had without her. She just wanted to love.
One of the things that Hillary does so well is capture that joy and that emotion.
She can get different moods of the individuals. And so to see Caleb being more serious and to show how he's maturing over the years has also been really phenomenal.
She walks into the room or wherever the shoot is, she sees Hillary and her face just lights up.
How are you? Good. Are you all ready for photos? So there's some green.
It's that kind of attitude that people have towards these kids that brings the best out of them. They become fearless, standing up in front of an audience, speaking in front of a camera. It's incredible.
You know, I'd love to be able to say, this is the formula, you know, you set the lighting up and that kind of thing. But for me, it really comes down to the way you connect to people, how comfortable they feel in your space, so that they can naturally let their true self come through.
It's so interesting to see the change and the growth, to see Noel's friends and, you know, all of the members in the organization just as they've grown and changed over the years. And of course, the photos are absolutely brilliant.
It's just amazing how this is all spread, and
the
how
ripple
much
effect
and how much comes back to you, because they want to share everything they find that's positive.
When people see somebody with Down syndrome doing something really cool or in a commercial or whatever, they will send us that to see some of those things becoming more normal and more possible. That's a really beautiful thing.
As a parent, you want your kids to thrive in who they are. And so when you see that, it brings a level of joy.
These young people have so much to say and so many gifts to share with us. So when we get to really stop and take a minute and listen, it's magic. Maybe that's the magic.
I've learned a lot of things in the last 10 years about this community. This is some of the most rewarding and joyful work that I've done in my career.
Here's a bigger smile for me, Michael.
You've been in the calendar for 10 years. This is the 10th time we've done photos together. I feel very grateful for all of the opportunities that have come our way because of this. I hope that, you know, us as a group and as a community have, you know, made at least a small impact in showing people a more authentic life for people with Down syndrome.
Now, when you Google Down syndrome, a lot of Hillary's photos show up, which is really cool.
And what I grew up with, those 70s videos of what Down syndrome was and that disability, I don't think that's what they're going to get anymore. And that is huge.
It's nice to see that progressive change. We want to make sure that the advocacy keeps on happening and bridging all of these gaps, not just for Caleb, but for other kids with exceptionalities. And after he exits the school system, what does that life look like for Caleb?